from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Real America's Voice, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Glad you're in. Slick Rick's here. He's going to do some sports. Slickster, how you doing?
Living the dream. One wink at a time.
I'll bet you are. Rick Delgado's here. He's going to do the news. Mr. Delgado, welcome to the 8 o'clock show. How are you?
I'm good. Woo!
All right, let's get ready.
We made it on time.
Let's get ready to mumble. All right, David Zier.
What's cooking?
Let's get ready to mumble. 2 debates. What do you think of this, David Zier? How are you?
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it.
It's a bad night to be on Team UFO, which all you guys are.
Team UFO. What is
Team UFO. That's your name of your team on the bet we made last night. Bad day for you guys.
Bring it.
He'll never make that second debate. Never.
Okay.
Never.
They'll probably use him.
Nope.
Interesting that the second debate is after the old DNC convention there, boys.
September morn. Nope, he ain't going to make that debate. No, sir.
They'll probably use his performance to say, see, you really can't.
Yeah, of course. That's the convenient thing for you guys to say tonight.
It's not convenient. What are you talking about?
Sure it is. Very
This is
convenient.
great.
Thank you to
I'm happy.
Have the name of the viewer who wrote me that hysterical email. And, of course, also pointing out that the second debate was after the DNC, and that was making you guys just a little rougher on your bet. I'll be going to Vegas on your time, it looks like. So
Yeah.
Yeah, with a whole $100. Woo, woo.
that's fine. It'll get me at least through the airport. Mr. Zier, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you.
You been busy?
Crazy.
Going back to the city tomorrow?
Yep. Got to leave at 2:30 a.m. Make sure we get the overflow passes for our RAV team. Jeff Clark coming in for special prosecutor. Worked with the Trump administration, Andrew Giuliani. I'll be in the courtroom till about 11:30 tomorrow a.m. Then heading back out to the island. Last night I did a great interview, a 1-hour special with Vicky Palladino from the 19th District in the New York City Council, Northern Queens, about the real number of illegals. You're going to be astonished what she had to say. I've got clips from all kinds of things here. LFS 6B fans from Wildwood and others. And I caught up with Byron Donalds and Corey Mills in Collect Pond Park across from the courthouse yesterday. And I got Mickey Whithoff. I have an interview with her and Nicole Refford on the 1512 Supreme Court decision coming up.
Okay, very good. We'll get to all that with David Zier. Slick, what's coming up in sports tonight? Caitlin Clark, big loser in the opening.
Yeah.
But the ref made it all about him with the 2 cheap fouls that got her basically on the bench for the whole first half.
Oh,
she still scored 20 or whatever it was.
It was terrible.
What else anything else catch your attention in sports today?
Oh yeah, well they want
they
to go after Harrison Butker. You know the Chiefs. You heard about that story,
Yeah,
right?
of
Yeah, he
course.
came out and said some good Christian value stuff, and they want to hang him now. They're
Can't be
calling
doing
for the NFL to do a suspension or a big fine, Big
Oh,
D.
sure, yeah, of course.
Yeah, so old Jerry's getting a Netflix 10 series docuseries, so that ought to be interesting. Old Jerry talking about his whole career and what he's done, so we'll be getting into that. Of course, we're going to report on Caitlin Clark, and we have NBA, NHL updates. We have playoff action going on again tonight, Big D.
All right, very good. We'll get to sports with Slick. We'll get to news with David Zier and with Rick Delgado. Delgado, what's caught your attention today other than obviously the 2 debates? And I guess Fannie Willis and Alvin Bragg weren't available, so we have Jake Tapper and
right.
what's her name to be the moderators.
Dana Bash.
I mean, it's just Dana Bash and Jake Tapper.
They're kind of, garbage, but whatever. You know what?
We don't need these. We don't need these crackhead moderators in these debates. That's the problem. We really just need the two of these guys on stage. Throw a topic out. It could be. We don't even need a moderator. Just have some guy announce. Okay, the first topic tonight, and just announce it, and then let him go for 20 minutes or half an hour.
Let it go,
and then go second debate, and let Trump lay out the case, and let Biden sit there and drool on himself, or whatever the deal is. We don't need these stupid moderators trying to act like they're smarter, they're more important. It's all about them. I'm going to try to get you. Look at me. Let me get some ratings for my show that's non-existent on the weekends on CNN so people will maybe watch. I'll do something wacky here. I mean, we don't need that.
No. What we do need, though, is I want to say, you know what, agreeing to, I don't know if they've actually agreed to the debate parameters just yet. I know they put him out there. The Biden team put him out there that his mic has to be shut off when Joe Biden's talking. I'm sorry, but that's kind of a no-go. Because
I think they've already agreed to it by doing it because they said no audience,
no audience is stupid.
which is stupid.
That is stupid.
But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, wait, no audience could be good because Joe Biden won't have the audience noise to help cover up some of his stupidity.
The fake laugh.
Yeah, exactly. Trump can just sit back and let this guy ramble and let's get ready to basically babble incoherently. I think that could be a plus. Another thing that I only had one, the only thing I could think of is I have one piece of advice for President Trump. I know he's watching, friend of the show, big fan. We get it. Be late. That's my only only piece of advice.
Would you like to explain that?
Yes, I would.
Go ahead. I have two pieces of advice: a drug test, and make sure that the questions. Well, there's not much you can do about that because they'll probably give the questions to somebody in the Biden team. But I would at least request that they didn't.
Be late. Why? Because whatever mysterious Adderall-infused cocktail they're going to jack him up with to get him through at least an hour and 20 minutes, hour to 30 tops, will start to wear off at about an hour and 20, hour and 30, right? We kind of saw it with the State of the Union. He was all spit and vinegar for platitudes, but really didn't do much. And then you saw the next day how completely different this guy was. So if you're late, maybe Trump. We couldn't land. There was a couple guys from Saudi Arabia with their plane in our way. We had to wait. They had to move their plane for our plane to get through. All of a sudden now maybe he's 30, 45 minutes late. Well, he starts coming off that jacked up cocktail a little bit early.
And all of a sudden, because he'll bail. They'll pull him.
No, we can't be.
They'll pull him off the stage.
I wonder if this has
Trump's
anything.
a no-show. They'll say
drug test is a much better idea.
I don't think he'll agree to a drug test, though.
No, he's not.
Well, then
come on, man.
Whatever.
Because then how do you explain the cocaine?
Well,
bring it, pal.
I covered the CNN town hall in Manchester, New Hampshire last year. I wasn't inside, but we were outside, and we couldn't really find any Biden supporters around there. But inside, most of the audience were Trumpers, and they were fed up. So imagine this year with the inflation and everything and the border, and Manchester and New Hampshire, largest per capita drug overdoses in the country. So, maybe Biden can't afford to have a live audience in there.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is that where they're doing it in Manchester?
No, I'm just saying, like at the CNN town hall, it backfired, I think, on CNN.
I think it's in Atlanta, Georgia.
It's in Atlanta.
So, yeah,
CNN,
Atlanta.
Headquarters or whatever.
That's what I thought. I thought it was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Hot Atlanta.
I think it did backfire on them.
So, President, be late. Make them wait. Let him start coming down off of his cocktail, and all of a sudden, the real Joe Biden will show up.
Well, the real Joe Biden's going to show up either way. There's no way to avoid it. I would just request that 2 hours before they take the stage, he does a drug test. That's all. No Adderall, no substances that jack you up. No, check the refrigerator for, Red Bulls or whatever.
What about can we do like a body scan to make sure nothing's been implanted in his ears so he can hear what
I don't even think that would matter, honestly. It's like the questions things. I saw a lot of people do. At CNN, if they say they don't give the questions, could you believe them? No, you can't believe them. But would it really matter? Honestly, the guy is he's so gone. I mean, he really is so gone. He couldn't even remember if they told him what the questions were anyways. Walk over there and check his notes or something. Maybe if he's got them written down already, then you'll know. But I don't know that it would even matter. He's so gone.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, everybody's thinking about, is he walking into a trap? Is he this? Is he that? The president can handle himself just fine. These are the moments where he shines. These are the moments where he shines, even if it's 3 against 1.
Yeah.
With Dana Bash and Jake Tapper, Trump hating, Russia loving, deranged Jake Tapper, and Dana Bash, of course, big Bernie Sanders fan, Dana Bash. So we know what we're getting with the two crooked moderators, and we know their stance on where they stand with Trump and everything else. But I don't even know that it matters against Biden.
Jake Tapper says that we don't have a soul, in the opening of War Room, right?
Yeah,
we don't have a conscience.
The president would be wise to just continue to look into the camera and ask the American people if they're better off now than they were 4 years ago, and just continue on that track. Just continue. He's got all the facts and all the stats and all of the everything he would need to debate this guy anytime, anywhere, in front of any two crooked moderators on any crooked in a network, and should do just fine. And I mean, this guy is so gonzo. Whether he has the questions or not, whether he's jacked up or not, I don't know that it's going to matter.
Yeah, do we actually have the clip of him throwing down the gauntlet today as he did?
I mean, a gauntlet. I mean, again, I always say these on these things. If you're in video production, I think it's about 45 to 60 words that he tries to say. And I think there's about 8 or 10 jump cuts, meaning they had to stop and retake. You almost had to tape every sentence as its own take to splice it together.
Right.
I don't know. Do we have it?
I didn't send it in. I thought maybe we would just have it, or maybe at least have access to it on your computer.
I mean,
yeah, I think in the 13 seconds there were 5 cuts. 13 seconds. So you can't talk. You can't get a coherent thought out in 13 seconds without having to stop at least 5 times to start again.
And what's amazing about it is even the things he says in the video, if you really stop and think about what he's saying, if you can get past the eyes focused so hard on the teleprompter as he's trying to record it, you can see his eyesight looking at the words. They're probably in about 400 font. But he says something like, "Hey, Donald Trump wants to debate me again. I debated him twice." And then he says something like, "And since then, he hasn't shown up for debates." Yeah. I'm thinking, well, what debates would he be showing up for before the election, before the year of the election? You moron! What the hell? What does that? What sentences? What does that mean?
I hear you're not busy on Wednesdays too. I heard that smart.
Yeah, that smart ass comment to try to be almost
come on, pal.
Trying to use his own lawfare that his own Department of Justice is using, joking about it. Just a despicable act, but you would expect nothing less from him. He's saying now he says he's acting like he wants to debate me again, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens, Joe, in presidential election years. There are debates. This is not out of the ordinary. So he says he didn't show up for any debates since the last 2. Well, there were none. He acts like he wants to debate now. Well, yes, any presidential candidate would. He says, "Well, make my day, pal." like he's Arnold going into the... And he says, "I'll do it twice." Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Great.
Wow, what a gift.
As long as there's no audience, I get the questions. I get the 2 moderators that hate him.
Once, twice, 3 times a moron.
All right, just getting started. We're back. News coming up. Sports coming up. Hi.
We're live. Let's get ready to mumble. I like that. Get ready to mumble. They should have did it at MAGA Square Garden. That would have been priceless.
But the Sphere.
Oh, the Sphere.
That holds like 16,000 people, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they're not bringing it in. But do the Sphere
The
just
Sphere
empty.
is 20,000.
Do it empty.
It's pinned where? I can't find it.
The what? I can't hear. Anybody?
Oh, got it. Okay.
Oh yeah, what cut is that?
Nick 387 says in the Get It Chat, 93-year-old Clint Eastwood would take Biden down. You bet your bippy he would.
Cut 20.
Damon, reminder, you have an interview at 8:30.
Come on.
Oh, we do? Who is it?
Dr. Ben Tapper from Wellness Company.
Jake Tapper's brother.
Yeah,
The
Jake
Wellness
Tapper's
Company, so
brother.
we're going to have to cut the stream?
Yeah, to be on the safe side.
Oh, right. Remember that?
All right.
Oh, cut 20? Yes, because I'm going to run that story because they're calling
Keep
for
it short, then they won't miss much.
Cut 20 is Harrison Butker commencement
All right. So
speech.
if you're watching on
long is it?
any of our streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Kick, X,
I want to play a little of that.
we're going to have to. Well, we don't have to cut Rumble, and we don't have to cut X, Fran.
I'll do that in a second.
So you could just switch the other three buttons off. You don't need to toggle all of them. Kill Facebook, kill YouTube, and kill Kick, because I don't know what they're. I think they're pretty.
Strict.
Honestly, I don't know if they're aware we're there yet.
Lincoln in Ukraine.
Yeah,
by
well, they
himself.
probably have an algorithm to pick
21?
up whatever. Leave the other ones. So during the segment 3, if you're watching on our social media, go over to X or go over to Rumble, because at least we know we won't get kicked off there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Wednesday night. Let's get to some sports and news, because we got Dr. Ben Tapper going to join us from the Wellness Company in the next segment. So let's do some sports and news now. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. LFS6B is the promo code to use at checkout. Great savings on great stuff from Lindell. What's going on, Slickster?
All right, big deal. Well, let's get right to the scoreboard. We got NBA and NHL playoff action going on tonight. NBA Celtics in the TD Garden hosting the Cavaliers, leading 58-52 at halftime. This is Game 5. Boston has a commanding 3-1 lead and looking to shut it down and wait for the winner of the Knicks-Indiana Pacers game, which may wrap up as early as tomorrow night. We have to see. And then the Mavs and Thunder, that'll be a 9:30 tip-off in Oklahoma City. That's also a Game 5. That series tied at 2. So coming down to the wire there with the Mavs and Thunder. That's a great series. I think that may be going 7. And NHL action on the ice in Dallas, American Airlines Arena. I know that arena well. Avalanche and Stars, a 16:23 to go in the first of a Game 5. Dallas also looking to close out the Avs on the road. We'll see what happens. Colorado is a tough team. I expect them to bring a lot of fight tonight. So again, no score there. We'll keep you posted as the evening goes on. Major League Baseball, just give you a couple of quick scores. In Atlanta, Cubs over the Braves 4-0, bottom of the third. End of 2, the Yankees blanking the Twins in Minnesota. And we have the 2-0. Guardians and Rangers, no score, just underway, as well as the Astros and A's. Earlier today, the Orioles down the Blue Jays 3-2. Marlins topped the Tigers 2-0. Brewers bomb the Pirates 10-2. White Sox clip the Nationals 2-0. Diamondbacks beat the Reds. What else is new? 2-1. 8-0 the Rockies over the Padres. And the Royals fell to the Mariners 4-2. Cards and Angels, Dodgers, Giants 9:07 and 9:45 respective first pitches. Get to a quick story. Definitely going to get to that Harrison Butker story a little bit later after that commencement speech and everybody calling for his head. Whatever happened to freedom of speech? Apparently the left doesn't believe in that unless it obviously fits their narrative. Vince McMahon says accuser asked for rough sex, wanted to be held down. I know it's a family show, but this story is coming out of Breitbart. Warner Todd Houston reporting. The woman suing former WWE chief Vince McMahon for sexual abuse reportedly sent text messages asking for rough sex and revealing that she fantasized about being held down. Janelle Grant, a former WWE employee, has accused McMahon of forcing her to have sex with him and demanded that she send sexually explicit photos of herself. In response, McMahon claims Grant sent a message saying she enjoyed being in pain and that she wanted him to watch her have sex with other people and know about her sex with others, according to the New York Post. McMahon's legal team also says that Grant asked the WWE chief for thousands in clothing and other gifts and wanted to pay for cosmetic surgery. She also reportedly asked to live in the same apartment building as McMahon so they could be more easily carry on their relationship. She reportedly continued their relationship even after she signed a non-disclosure agreement in 2022. Despite the testimony in the case, McMahon also claimed that he deleted all of Grant's messages after they broke off their relationship. Well, there you go. Grant has accused McMahon of forcing her to have sex with other members of the WWE management team, and it goes into detailing all this graphic detail that you don't need. But she also sought to invalidate the non-disclosure agreement. McMahon has denied Grant's allegations. However, he resigned from the WWE parent company. So he's wrestling with a lot of issues, Big D, huh?
Okay.
No question about it.
Glad we didn't get the graphic stuff.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
we skipped over the real heavy stuff towards the end there. We got
Didn't
enough
need
though.
that. That was-
I know, family
that would
show
be
at
off-putting.
8:20. They should have ran that story about 9:40. But and I'm going to quit while I'm
More
ahead.
like 10-20.
10:20. Hey, well, Vince McMahon, that happens to be a big name, Big D.
No, you're right.
WWE. I mean, come on,
You're right.
don't get much bigger than that. Maybe UFC, but back in the day, of course, boxing. And that's a wrap in sports. I'll give you a couple other stories a little bit later. For
All right,
sure.
Slick, very
Clean
good.
them up a
Sports is
little.
brought to you by Mike Lindell. Use our code LFS6B. Maybe it's brought to you by AVN. I don't know. No, I think it's... no.
Well, we have betting. I mean, we're in the right,
Lindell.
come on,
Yeah.
it's it.
All right, let's do some news. And here with the news, brought to you by our friends over at 7 Cells, is Rick Delgado. What's going on?
Sadly, I don't have anything as racy as that for you, Damon. I'll try to
That's
keep
a
things
shock.
above board.
That is a shock. Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Cut 5.
Here's a story that I was trying to get to last night, but we ran out of time. North Carolina bill to curb mask wearing in protests could make it illegal for medical reasons, too, as Republican lawmakers in North Carolina proposed a bill that would enhance penalties for people wearing a mask during a crime or intentionally blocking traffic during protests. Good idea. Finally, people wearing masks during protests in North Carolina could face extra penalties if arrested under this proposed legislation that critics say would make it illegal to wear a mask in public as a way to protect against COVID-19, which isn't a thing anymore, so you don't have to worry about that. Republican supporters say the legislation, which passed its first committee Tuesday, was prompted in part by the recent wave of protests on university campuses nationwide, including the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill against Israel's war in Gaza. GOP Senator Buck Newton brushed off concerns of getting rid of pandemic-era exemptions on masks was overly broad, saying he expects authorities to use good common sense. We didn't see Granny getting arrested in the Walmart pre-COVID, Newton said as he presented the bill Tuesday. While the main thrust of the bill enhances penalties for people wearing masks during a crime or intentionally blocking traffic during protests, most concerns, of course, from the left centered on the health and safety of the exemption. You say, well, there isn't a problem before COVID, Democrat Natasha Marcus said. The world is different now. We can't go back when pandemics didn't happen. Pandemics always happened, you dope. Maybe she hasn't been paying attention to history. So there you have the exemption was originally added to state statutes in 2020, along with most bipartisan support.
What state is this?
North Carolina.
Okay.
So Antifa, you are on notice. You might want to avoid North Carolina because, let's face it, people are going to find out who you are now.
Did you see these freaks in Florida try to block the entrance into Disney World?
No.
That didn't go too well. That didn't go too well. They lasted about 7 minutes.
Especially for what people pay to go to Disney World. You get that ticket. You don't want to be sitting in traffic or behind some dipwad who decides he wants to do a sit-in.
The
4 hours.
Florida State troopers. No, they're not doing what New York and San Francisco are doing. They're not sitting around waiting.
No.
They're not standing on the side of the road. Took them about 7 minutes to get these crackheads off the road. And it was a joy to watch.
Yeah, right on Interstate 4, the main artery going right into Orlando.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well for them.
No, definitely not. Here we go with some debate talk. This one coming from MSNBC, cut number 3, where one of Biden's lackeys goes on to talk about the debate and what people can expect. This is cut number 3, Aaron.
Listen, the president himself did not mince words, right? He said that he beat Donald Trump twice in 2020.
He said it.
Donald Trump hasn't debated since. The president is happy to debate. He's happy to do it twice. And he thinks that we should do this sooner rather than later so that the American people can see the stark choice that's in front of them in this election. We should do it in June after Donald Trump's criminal trial is likely to conclude and after the president returns from the G7 summit. And then we should have a second debate in September, well ahead of early voting begins. So again, that the American people can hear from both candidates before they go cast their ballots. That's what we should be doing in a 21st century presidential election. And the president's ready to do so. I think the question now becomes, will Donald Trump keep his word? Will he step up to the plate here? We haven't heard from him yet, but we'll be waiting all day.
You can't be for real. That's
listen,
fake news.
You can
Come on.
You can have problems with some of Trump's people in the RNC, and we can all have some issues, little issues with how they handle things, but Biden's people are really dumb. All his DEI hires are going to come. I'm starting to think are really going to come back to bite him because all of these people from top down, and they're all DEI hires because you wouldn't hire these people to run to push the elevator button for people waiting.
Dead end interns. Dead end interns.
DEI. At my interview last night with Vicky Palladino in New York City Council, she was talking about how bad the administration is in New York City, packed, jam-packed with DEI hires and completely incompetent.
I mean, you could have seen that they were sitting next to the
press conference
next
too,
to the mayor last night, talking about we got a lot of swimmers that are unemployed who got here. They're basically immigrants and saying, "Oh, they must be pretty good swimmers if they got here." So we should put them to work.
All right, live from Studio 6B. We're back right after this.
Dan, we're back.
I mean, his people are really stupid. Oh, my
morons.
God. They are just absolute morons. They can't do anything right.
Well, you know what it is? I think they got boxed into a corner when he went on Stern, and he said, I'll do the debates anytime, any place.
I'm sure that's just one part of it.
Right. And then all of a sudden they're like, now we got to try to make this
plus,
happen.
there's polling and everything else. They have no choice. He's not like he's in a comfortable lead. He's getting
Come on, man.
demolished.
We have to do the over-under on how many come on mans is going to happen in that debate, right? Come on, man.
Well, they're going to try to rig it every way they can to some advantage for him, but
no audience.
You won't trip Trump.
Step one.
No way you trip him up.
Just don't think it matters.
Jake Tapper, step two.
I know, but even with all of that, I just...
They're going to try to make Trump look like a bully and, poor Pop,
Sure.
That's what they're going to do. Woe is Joe, Come on.
They're going to try to make it so Joe doesn't get... If Trump starts to get on him, interrupt him and get him nervous, then he starts to stumble. that's going to be the directions in the top to Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. Do not let the two of them go at each other.
At the CNN town hall, the host did that too. As soon as he had a great answer, she cut him off.
Who do you call? With Chris Wallace, right? He would jump in. He was basically debating Chris Wallace.
Mr. President. Who do you call Mr. President? Think about that, right?
Who was the girl from CNN who did the New Hampshire?
Caitlin Collins.
Caitlin, yeah. She was awful.
She was awful.
There's no way for any of them to ever be anything but awful. They can't be objective. It's all about them and their hatred for him and to try to get him.
I think Harry Oates should be the moderator, right?
4 hours.
4 hours. We have 4 hours, guys.
4-hour debate. So now we find out that David Muir and Lindsay Davis. I have no idea who Lindsay Davis is or what she does for ABC. Those are the two for the second one. Two more lightweights that nobody knows.